Kjarsgaard here for the Nanton Aviation Station, NAS. And I'm a director, Halifax 57 Rescue. We're visiting today with Scott Knox Tech Inc. And we're about to show you our progress. Well, Knox Tech is doing all the good work. And we're going to talk to Scott today about the progress on the wing sections and the main spar extraction. That's phase one of beginning our Halifax Bomber for the Bomber Command Museum of Canada. And Scott, thanks for taking us on and doing all this technology. George Roshkoff, our engineer, is on a day off today, but tell us what sort of progress you've been making and just how you feel about the project.
Well, thanks, Karl. Yeah, George is on a well-deserved break. He's been working hard de-skinning the two wing sections that we have here. So we're taking out hundreds, possibly thousands of rivets and removing the skins, top and bottom, so that we can get at the fasteners that hold the front spar to the rest of the wing sections. We're almost at the point now where we can turn the wings top side up and actually get at the skins on that side so that we can expose all the internal rivets and get at those. Hopefully we'll be able to have those front spars off in a few days, we hope. So things are progressing really well. The amount of drilling is significant. We are going through an awful lot of bits, but pretty good though. It's not so bad. A lot of grinding involved as well for fasteners that are 60, 70 years old now.
Right.
So it's a lot of hard work, but you know, every time you take a panel off or a skin off, it exposes parts underneath, and it's like a little treasure hunt, you know, and you get closer and closer. It's incremental progress, but good steady progress.
Right, right. And what I've been telling the folks at Bomber Command Museum and all of our members at Halifax 57 Rescue is perhaps we don't have 100% of a Halifax to do our Halifax display, our presentation, our aircraft at Bomber Command Museum. But this is the beginning. And I challenge anybody else in the world to come up with a nucleus of a Halifax starter kit. We can begin now. And I know that when you get finished the wing boxes and extract the main spars out of the wing boxes, we have the brand new main spars just tucked back there along the wall. And those are brand new thanks to Sprung Instant Structures. And so we can begin, after the extraction, we can begin phase two, which will be the start, the backbone of a Halifax, the main spar.
Exactly, Karl. There's a lot of, although they're not exactly the same wing, there's a lot of commonalities between the Hastings and the Halifax. And you know, there's a very large percentage of this material that we can reuse. And no, it's otherwise you'd be starting from scratch, and it would be prohibitive. You wouldn't be able to do it from scratch without a lot of hassle.
But you know what I like is that the fact that George rebuilt the main spar of the Halifax at Trenton, Ontario, at the National Air Force Museum. He did all of that almost single-handedly. So because he's sort of our main honcho for starting this Halifax, he knows exactly what he's got to do. And here are these beautiful blueprints that we have been able to copy from the the National Air Force Museum. And you can see all the details, and there's the main spar cross section, the spar cap, and all of the, this is original Halifax blueprints from the Handley Page factory. So, you know, we've got some good reference material to work from.
These are full-scale drawings, one-to-one.
One-to-one.
So showing every rivet, every fastener, every detail is shown here. So whatever we don't have on the Hastings, we can fabricate, or at least George can fabricate, an exact duplicate.
maybe what I'd like to have here before you guys get finished is I will sweep up all the aluminium shavings and then I will sell them to the scrap dealer.
Is that what they call it?
Well, all I'm saying is there's a lot of shavings here from a lot of drilling.
There is. There is. It was funny, George the other day said that this aircraft has a smell, a stink. I said, what are you talking about? He says, every aircraft has a smell. And, now that I've been involved with this project and seen some other older aircraft, he's right. I get that now, And she's got a heart of gold. But she smells a bit.
Okay, let's call it Handley Page halitosis.
There you go. That's right. That's right. Well, once we're done with her, she'll be all cleaned up and all that halitosis will be gone and she'll smell like a brand new aircraft.
So now, Scott, you said that you feel that the extraction of the main spar, we could be like near the end of August, say, we could have that out. And that is phase one. Basically, we've covered that situation.
Correct.
Then we would go to phase two, which would be the jig and assembling.
As you said, George has a lot of experience with the disassembly and reassembly of the Halifax wing down in Trenton. So we're going to use exactly the same methodology in this spar rebuild. Unfortunately, the original jigs that were used down in Trenton have been disposed of, but we can make exactly the same jig over again, and it'll be basically a large framework that is true and plumb, and we can use that as a table to bolt the new assemblies onto as we do the reassembly. So no, George has an intimate knowledge of what's required. And we are already thinking ahead into phase two, and we're already starting to think about, material, where we're going to source material from, and what have you. Sure.
And while you guys here are laboring away and doing all of the work that has to be done on the main spar, I've already contacted Sprung Instant Structures. They have a factory that they make the special dies and extrude their aluminum alloy beams for their buildings, and they said if I got them the blueprints of the rear spar caps.
That's right here, right?
Right.
Thank you, sir.
These babies here,
Yeah.
if Sprung has already said they can build us the die and extrude whatever material we need.
Right.
And then all we have to do is get it to the Maestro George, and then with your assistance and here at the building, we can move on to rear spar and wing ribs and all of the others. So as long as we keep moving ahead, I'll try and stay with you, but then also I'm moving ahead on materials to do the structure.
Exactly. No, it's a good idea to be getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, if you will, like flying ahead of the aircraft all the time, right? We're always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
So be prepared, just in time, more or less, when we're ready to move on the rear spar. We'll have that material en route, hopefully. And absolutely, that's great. I think we've formed a really good team here, where we're all bringing our own expertise to bear in terms of planning, execution, business management, technical expertise. Each of us has our own skill set that we bring to bear, and I think that's imperative for a successful project.
Sure. And tonight I'll be headed over to England, to Heathrow, and then up to Leeds area, and those two Bristol Hercules engines, 0 time in crates. I'll be up there crating them up and bringing them back to Canada. So that'll be engines number 2 and number 3. We've already got one running. You've seen those features on the NAS station of the Halifax Hercules engine running on the trailer, and I've showed you the photos. But now we'll have engine 2 and 3 that are 0 time, so we're excited about that find. You don't find them too often.
No, sir. I'm looking forward to coming out and visiting and listening to those roar.
I'm going to enjoy starting this engine, and everybody enjoys the roar of a Rolls-Royce tomorrow, and that's very famous.
What a sound.
Oh, it is a big throaty roar, and one of the guys said it's like 47 Harleys on steroids.
There you go. Although this aircraft will not fly, we have to make sure that it'll be able to take those loads. So although, you know, we still have to be very careful when we do a disassembly and then the reassembly, it still has to be engineered to take those fairly significant loads. So those things are, those engines are powerful.
Yeah, definitely we have to be thinking ahead along those lines, because the Lank runs at the Bomber Command Museum. It doesn't fly, but it does run, and it's a very attractive showpiece. And what we want to do is, when this is built up, is we want to be able to hang those Hercules on them and run them alongside the Lank. And that's the bottom line for us, is at least ground running reliable for people, so that they know about this Bomber Command.
We could tie the two of them together tail to tail and have a little tug of war.
Yeah.
Who do you think would win?
Okay, so it's not monster truck, it's monster airplanes.
There you go.
Yeah, dueling airplanes.
There you go.
I told them I would maybe only run 2 Hercules at one time, so we didn't drown out the Merlins, you know.
The poor Merlins.
Yeah. So, but anyways, this is great, Scott, your progress, and I'll be checking in with you time and again as we move forward. And phase 1's almost complete, and then in September, I'm sure that we can get things going for phase 2, and we'll work on that as we go.
Always look forward to your visits, and thanks for bringing us on board.
Thanks for your good work.